Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's a beautiful Sunday here in Utah. It's actually clear outside and not smoky like it's been the last couple days. So check out what we've been working on the shop on TikTok. If you don't follow me on TikTok, you're missing out. So we are working on welding up this engine cradle. These are just braces, don't mind those. Welding up this engine cradle for Clancy. So yeah, bored on a Sunday, thought I'd come out, work on that. I've been doing a lot of welding. It's taking a lot of wire, so I kind of want to work on my rear end. If you guys want to tag along, let's see what we can get done on that rear end. I've never really touched one, so I hope I don't mess it up. Wish me luck. Go give Malfunction Junction a follow if you don't already. He was gonna come help me do this. He said, you know, don't touch it. We'll do it another day. But one, I'm bored. Two, I really want to see these bolts come out before he comes over, just in case I have to get a replacement third member. Because as you can see, it's pretty yellow because it's nasty and rusted. Not yellow, red, duh. So I really just hope all these bolts come out nice and smooth. Is what I'm hoping for. And the only reason I want to mess with it before he comes over, and then if I can get it back together, I'll just have him help me adjust the backlash. So that one came out pretty easy. I've been drenching it in this stuff. I think I've gone through a whole bottle. I've refilled it once. Just drenching it every chance I get with some blaster. If I'm doing this wrong, let me know, because I've never done this. I should have YouTubed on how to do this before I even started, but if you guys haven't seen my channel or my other videos, I just send it. You'll figure it out. Rubber mallet, no good. I think that's supposed to just come out. There goes the impact. Hey, one keeper's out. I hope those aren't directional. Yeah, so these bearings completely seized. I hope I ordered all the right parts. Let me show you inside of here. It is just disgustingly rusted. So I think I ordered all the bearings, all the seals, everything I should need to fully rebuild this. And that's another reason why I want to pull it apart before Clancy comes over. Because if I don't have the parts, I want to order them. Well guys, the more I'm looking at everything, I don't think I need any of that rusted, nasty stuff. Because, you know, it has the rusted bearings, the ring and pinion, but over here, I have a spool, ring and pinion, whatever. And then I should have a bunch of bearings in here. Look at that. So I think we shouldn't need any of this stuff. I was about to start busting out these, but I think we'll just need to bust whatever that's called. Take that out of there. That thing looks massive. I don't know. I hope mine fits. But yeah, I think we just need to get rid of this stuff. Replace that one bearing. And that's all I can see so far. But yeah, that's junk. That can go in the garbage. That makes me feel a lot better, because I was about to start freaking out about that. I almost took it to the press. I'm glad I remembered and went to look to see what I ordered, because I ordered all this stuff. This is the first thing I ordered forever ago, so I forgot I even had it. Look at this. Brand new machine stuff, and it all came from Speedway. Nice and clean, no rust, baby. God, that makes me so happy. Because I honestly thought I was going to have to clean that thing out. Just goes just like that, I think. Put a couple bolts in it. I think I have all brand new bolts for it too. Okay, so I just counted all the teeth on this ring and on that ring. And this one has 37 teeth. That one only has 32. So yeah, we're geared a lot lower now. Now what I want to do is see if we can pull this yoke part out and get it out of here. Alright, so that one should fit. Slid right out like a glove. And that's garbage. We're not using this stuff anymore. That's primitive driveline stuff. Throw that right there. With the seal. I don't know if we keep the hood. I don't know if it needs it. But probably not, because we're putting a pinion brake on this bad boy. So it's probably going to be in the way of the pinion brake if we leave it. Got a lot of goodies to show you guys if you stick around. Ha! We got it. Looks like all it has is a O-ring. An O-ring seal right there. It was just a little rusted in there, as you can tell, but we got it. We got it. And that bearing in there is not, I don't know if it's supposed to move, but it moves a lot, so. We'll get this bad boy cleaned out, and it's gonna need a new race in here. I don't know if you can see that it's nice and clean on this side, and then straight rust on that side of that race. Yeah, this bad boy was definitely full of water at one point. So if you look at this side of the gears, nice, clean, black. This side, straight rust. So that bearing completely seized up. Oh, I can feel like, oh, this side, 2 or 3 of them spin on the clean side, but the other ones do not. Looks like a spider used to live in here. So, hey, at least it's coming apart. That makes me happy, because I don't need any of this stuff. Can't believe how rusted this thing is. So now we have a nice rag with gasoline on it. Just gonna give it a quick wipe down. I don't think we're gonna get this very clean with all the rust on it, but it'll be clean enough for what we need it for. and in the areas that we need cleaned, because most of the rusted parts, there's really nothing that goes on there other than the oil, you know. The oil fills that spot. I don't know how to explain it, so. We'll clean the important areas, and the other areas should be fine without cleaning. Because not much goes on there. Alright guys, check it out. I got the bearings out. I threw them right here as I was pulling them. So that's the bearing, there's the race. There's the other race. I don't know where the other bearing went, but they're all out. So I had to heat this one up so it's still warm. Boom, boom. I just used a hammer and this pry bar to pound them out. It wasn't too bad because I heated it up. So it wasn't super bad at all. So what I'm gonna go do now is these bearings, I'm gonna go throw them in my deep freezer, and we'll come back tomorrow when they're nice and frozen, and we'll see if we can slide them in. So we'll freeze the spool, the bearings, all of them. Well, not these ones, because these ones we're gonna have to heat up so that they fit in the spool. And these ones we gotta cool down so they fall back down pretty easy into these holes without having to pound them in there or press them in there too hard. I'd hate to set them up on that press, because I'm not a press guy. I'm more of a hammer kind of guy, you know? But let's see, tomorrow we'll put those in. Okay, so it's been about 2 days since we put those parts in the freezer. So let's go grab them and see if we can throw them in. I'm probably gonna heat up where they go first, so that when I bring them out, they're still nice and cold, and this is kind of warm, so it expands and hopefully they drop right in. So got my handy dandy torch right here. We're actually gonna move everything to this side. So the reason we'll put it on this bench is because it's all steel. This thing has plastic on it. I don't want it to melt. So, once again, if I'm doing this wrong, let me know. I've never done this, and I've never looked it up either. I should have watched a YouTube video. Okay, so they're both steaming off now, pretty good. So let's go grab them parts. Here they are, fresh out of the deep freezer. So I'm gonna start out with the little one that goes inside of that third member. Whew, the glove is stuck to it. There it is. Oh, perfect fit. That couldn't have fit any better. Let me show you. So down in here, that's where that bearing goes. And that little washer thing fit perfectly on there. So it tapped in beautifully. And no, I did not hit it hard at all. It just barely smacked it. I think it's seated all the way in there. Bearings still spin freely, so let's try this one. Let's get it warm again real quick. Okay, so these will sit like that. See if they drop right in. Probably got to tap those in as well. I'm going to find something big that fits right there. So I might just use the old one that we took out of there. Put it on top and bring it over to the press. I should have done that in the first place. That was way easier. Yeah, so I just used the old one that we took out, pressed it right in. Now do the other side. Think we're good. So yeah, once again, the old one was no good though. You see how rusted it is right there? Not a good race. But now, we're good to go. We got the new ones in. It's still way hot. So before we go get that spool, I just saw something on my way out. So check this out. I'm sure you guys already knew this, but I did not. So, my old spool has this style of bearings that don't come out. They're just pressed there. The new ones that I got, they're like cone shaped and have a race and some bearings. And I don't know what way they go with this facing out or in. So now I'm finally going to have to go look at some videos real quick, probably on Speedway, because they have a lot of educational stuff on there. And we'll get back to work right after that. Alright, so after watching that YouTube video, I did learn something. So, turns out that we gotta heat these up. Well, we don't have to, but we're gonna heat the actual bearings up a little bit. I don't want to take a torch to them, so we're just gonna leave them in the sun for a little bit, because those are gonna get pressed in on the sides of that spool that I have in the freezer right now. And I am gonna need my press, so I just cleaned everything off, made sure it's all nice and clean, so we can put the spool on there and press those bearings onto the spool. So it's a little bit of a process, and I did learn some stuff. Double checked, make sure that everything was seated properly, which one of them was not. But other than that, yeah, we'll just wait for those parts to heat up, and she'll be going back together in a second. Okay guys, so our spool, look at that, has a nice little bit of frost on it, so we know it's nice and cold. So we'll see if them bearings drop on, huh? Here's one bearing. They've been sitting in the sun for about 30 minutes. God, they're hot. Find a piece of wood and go on the floor, huh? Pressed in there nicely. No gap. Whoa. That was almost bad. Bounced off my block of wood. Okay, there's the other side. Nice and seated. Bearings spin freely, so we didn't warp or bend anything. Now we should be good to go. We'll give it one good little tap again just to make sure they're seated. This is a double tap. That worked rather swell. So we didn't bend anything. Everything still looks good. Freezing it was the right choice. So gonna set that one aside, and then we still have one bearing left, but that one's gonna be the hardest one. That's the one going on the actual spool. Not the spool, the pinion. I think it's called a pinion. So that last piece slides down on this shaft right here. So it'll sit right here at the bottom. I think that one's gonna be the hardest one to do. It's still sitting on the cooler in the sun. So we'll see how hard that one is. So for that one, I think I'm gonna cut a piece of pipe. I have one that fits that bearing. At least fits really, really, really close. And it's this piece. So I think if I cut about 7 or 8 inches off of this, we'll be able to use the press and press that bearing down. And that way we don't have to hammer anything. So the moral of the story, if you're gonna build a rear end, take it to a professional. Don't do it yourself, because it's a lot more work than it looks like. There's a reason the professionals charge what they do. It's because of all these specialty tools that they've already purchased or built, I don't know. And it really is a lot of work. So don't do what I did. I happen to have a lot of stuff to make my own tools or things that I need to make it happen and work. But yeah, just send it to the professional. It's worth the extra $100. So this is not a how-to video because I've never done this before and I have no idea what I'm doing. Go ahead and laugh at me, but it's working. Saving me $100, which is not much. Once again, take it to the professionals. Take it to Ruthless Diesel. Take it to Malfunction Junction or Rigid Repair. Don't do it yourself. So here we have our little bearing, our little pipe we just cut, and it sits perfectly down in that hole. So we're gonna try to press that down without ruining anything. Famous last words. Wish me luck. And it worked, guys. It worked. Our little pipe. It actually worked. Bearing still spins freely. No scars. And it's seated all the way there at the bottom. So that was one thing that video I just watched said. It said make sure it's seated all the way down in there. So, and he said spin the bearing, make sure nothing warped. And it sure as shit spins, baby. Hell yeah, that's awesome. So there it is. I guess we got a 4 9-inch put together. Now we just gotta put a couple seals on. So next, I guess we're actually gonna put this bad boy on. Shouldn't be too bad. There we have it. A dang near fully assembled 9-inch. Never done it before, but it's possible. So, see if we can get it set in here. And I honestly have no idea what I'm doing at this point, so I'm probably gonna wait so I don't mess anything up. I don't know if that's supposed to go in first. I don't know if I'm gonna like screw up threads if I tighten it up or not. So I'm just gonna leave it at this point. Should be just about done and ready for the professionals. And what I already did to all these other little caps, I took a little wire wheel and I cleaned all the grooves. You can see they're kind of shiny. Try to get all the rust and crap out of there. Because they were bad, if you guys remember. This thing sat in the snow for a couple years. Clear full of water. Alright guys. Once again, I'm just trying to show you almost everything that goes into building a derby car. This is part of building a derby car. A rear end. I wouldn't run a car without a geared rear end. Especially if you're new to derby. Rear ends do huge things. I almost feel like they are more important than an engine. Like, You can have a big old engine and a, you know, really high gears, and you're not going to be scooting anywhere. I would always prefer to put a different rear end with different gears and a spool than upgrade the engine and transmission. So that's just my personal preference. Let me know what you guys think if you derby. But I feel like the rear end is probably one of the most important things. So whether you buy a built one or you build and gear your own, it's a must. It's a must. So that's why I'm adding this part of the video in here, because you can always do your own or go ahead and buy one. I would probably pay somebody to do it because this sucks. Okay, I think we got it close enough to make the call now. So check this out. So we got a little bit of backlash like it calls for. Everything spins freely. My paint that came from Speedway is all dried up, so I don't have any paint to check. I don't know, we're supposed to have a little football shape right here in the gears, but our backlash is there. I'm gonna need to get the keepers, but I think I'm to a spot where I'm comfortable enough to make a phone call to finish up the setup with a dial indicator and maybe some paint. If not, I'm gonna use some grease on there and it should work like paint. I have a whole bucket of assembly lubes, so we can always try that. But let's make that phone call, and hopefully the next thing you see is this thing getting dialed in. We're actually taking a quick detour from working on that rear end to go help my friend down the road work on his derby car. We're going to be putting that motor that Clancy built for him, motor and trans, in his car, and he has the same problem that I do with that steering column bar thing. So wish us luck, and you'll see what I mean here in a minute. That is going to be a pain trying to fit that LS motor in that Dodge car. So it should be fun. You guys will get a better idea of what I'm going through with my car. So let's head down the road and see if we can put that motor in. All right, here it is. We're still working on it, trying to get it to fit in there. It's been really, really tricky, and I will show you, but there's a lot of swearing going on. But once it's in there, I'll come show you again what we ended up doing, just in case you end up running an LS in your Mopar.